Well, Tom Cruise is still willing to do movies until he's 100 years old. I doubt this will be the final reckoning, though, but let's talk about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here. Welcome to my review for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and this is a franchise that I've come to love over the years. I really enjoyed most of these movies. There's one or two where I'm like, okay, they're fine, but the rest of them, like, ever since, like, pretty much Mission Impossible 3 or Ghost Protocol, I have really dug the hell out of all these movies. So, getting into this movie, there will be spoilers for, of course, The Final Reckoning, and, of course, the previous films, especially Dead Reckoning, and one other one that I'm going to talk about very briefly. Tom Cruise, man, he's fucking insane. This man is 62 years old, and he has been climbing on the side of buildings. He has jumped out of planes. He has hung on the side of planes. He has jumped off bikes, jumped off mountains. I mean, this man is willing to do anything to commit and give these people that love this franchise like me a good time. And needless to say, he does it again here. Tom Cruise is a shining star of this franchise. He always has been, of course. Ethan Hunt is just such a compelling character. I really find him to be one of the best action movie leads that we've had. And I really dig the hell out of seeing him with his team. We've got Haley Atwell returning. We've got Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames. You also have Pom Clementi from Guardians of the Galaxy returning as Paris. So yeah, you got Paris Benji, Grace, you got Luther in there, and Ethan, and they are going to stop at nothing to stop the entity from taking over the world and destroying it pretty much, so there's no human life left. This thing is taking over missile containment units. It's taking over these different countries' weapons, so it's planning to launch all these missiles and destroy the world. Scorched Earth, am I right? So yeah, this is probably the Mission Impossible movie with the highest stakes. I really don't see how they could ever reach the peak of this, because this is, I mean, all lives are on the line. It's not like, you know, we're fighting against these eco-terrorists or, you know, some other generic threat or just an agent gone rogue or anything. No, Mission Impossible always does this huge plots, and I love it, and this is probably their biggest yet, and I don't know how they're going to top it. And speaking of that, the stunts. How the hell are they ever going to top the stunts in this movie with another one? I don't know if we'll get another one, but if they do, it'll be hard to top anything that we've seen out of these 8 movies so far, because this movie has some incredible sequences. You've got Tom fighting Gabriel. I shouldn't say Tom, I should say Ethan. But you've got Ethan fighting Gabriel in the third act on this plane. They're both driving planes, and Ethan hops out of his, jumps onto Gabriel's plane, starts beating him, tries to get him out of the plane before he is unable to get the entity to the server where Grace can get it out of there and stop it, and, you know, stop it from controlling all these missiles. So that was really nail-biting. This third act, the last hour actually, is really, really entertaining. That's where you get your most bang for your buck. Now, definitely the first 2 hours, because keep in mind, this is a damn near 3-hour-long movie, are definitely still awesome. I had plenty of great moments in those first 2 acts. I really, you do kind of feel the runtime a little bit. There are some moments where the pacing did slow down a little bit, but for the most part, it did kind of fly by, especially once you get to those action sequences where you are intense, you are in it, you are rooting for Ethan to make it out of it alive. There's plenty of crazy just choreography in here, especially, you know, with Tom Cruise having to climb on the outside of the plane as it's moving. Very dangerous for a 60-year-old man to do, but he's fucking doing it for us, for our entertainment, and I gotta love him. I gotta love him for that. You gotta love Tom Cruise's passion for cinema and his love for his craft. You gotta love it. So in this movie, you have the team of characters being kind of pulled in different directions. Ethan is kind of on his own for the first, like, 2 hours of it. There is an opening bit where he is with them, and he's kind of planning out, okay, how we're going to do this. But then later on in the movie, he is pretty much on his own, going to the submarine that was sank. Simon Pegg's character, he's given plenty of moments here where Ethan is like, you lead the team, you know, because Ethan's going off on his own here. And he's like, you lead your team, take care of your team, and I love that. because this team, it feels like a family. It really is, especially in the beginning, the first like 30 minutes to 40 minutes where you get a lot of moments between them together, Simon Pegg and Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames, and you have Luther being the one to give us our sacrifice of the movie. He is the one to die in this movie, which I kind of figured from the trailer that he was going to die. It was one of my guesses, and I nailed it. It's still sad, nonetheless. I mean, this man has been with us for a long time in this franchise. He's an unforgettable character. Ving Rhames is just a great performer in general. Very iconic voice. And I just really love his performance in this movie, just giving that last goodbye to Ethan, saying that, look, I can disarm this bomb, but when I do, you need to be out of here, because this is going to explode once I disarm it, and everything's going to, come crumbling down onto me, and you need to be the one to get out of this, because Gabriel traps him in this fence. There's a fence in between him and Ethan, and he's like, brother, we are both on the right side of this fence. You need to be out there doing this mission, completing it, saving the world from this entity, and I need to be here to make this sacrifice. Tom Cruise is just a legend. He's a fucking legend. Ethan Hunt manages to save the world in this movie. He manages to get the entity in safe hands. They give it to him. So Ethan currently has the entity. Obviously, he is the best one to have it, because he is not going to do anything malicious with it. He's not going to do anything harmful with it. And that's actually where we leave the film. That's where it ends, with Ethan having the entity. And I think that's a great ending to leave it off on, because Grace tells him in the movie earlier, she's like, I would trust you with the entity. You are the one that can make the right calls and, know when something is corrupt, when something needs to be put in control, and you are the one that's best to wield this kind of power. So I liked that sort of arc that he goes on in this movie, leading to that moment. Gabriel's death, I'll admit, is it's funny, because he's like, I only have only one parachute here, and then he dives off, but then he ends up hitting the back wing of the plane, and then his face kind of slices a little bit on the back wing of the plane. It's funny, but at the same time, he killed Ethan's love. He killed Ilsa. He pretty much caused the death of Luther. I kind of wanted a bit more of a personal fight, hand to hand, but I get it. We had that in the last movie with the knives on top of the train. That was pretty cool. Then for certain side characters like Pom Clementi's character Paris, I was hoping for a lot more development in this movie, and you do get it, but that's really later on towards, I'm talking like the last 20 minutes of the film, 20 to 30 minutes of the film, where Benji is shot and she has to do a surgery on him to keep him from, to keep his, I think his lungs collapsing, I believe. She has to kind of do the surgery where she has to poke something into him so he can breathe out of it, and she does it. She revives him. But that's really all you get, that big moment for her. You don't get any more development for her. There's a lot of great callbacks, especially to Mission Impossible 3, where it ends up that it turns out that Ethan stealing the rabbit's foot is what led to the entity. The rabbit's foot ended up being used to create the entity, and that's what Ethan had to steal to get his wife back in Mission Impossible 3. So, a lot of great callbacks, a lot of great action. Tom Cruise is nailing it. Some side characters I wish got a bit more development, some pacing issues. There's definitely a lot of exposition in there, a lot of, scenes from past movies being intercut in between different moments of exposition. Especially in the end, the beginning, there's like a big montage. It's almost like they're catching you up on an episode of a show that you just finished watching or whatever.
Hey guys, just editing the review here, and I do give it a 9 out of 10 in my original recording, but reflecting on the film, I give it an 8 out of 10. There is a bit of pacing issues in here, some elements of the film that I wish were developed a bit more. The first hour of the movie is pretty clunky. Actually, the first hour and a half of the movie is kind of clunky in terms of its exposition and just the way everything is edited together, having a bunch of flashbacks and stuff like that. But yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's still a great movie, just had some minor issues with it.
So I want you guys to let me know what you thought of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning down in the comments below. Yes, it's a long movie. Yes, there's a lot of exposition. There's a lot going on here, but a lot of that's going on is extremely entertaining. So, Hope this review didn't run too long for you guys, but as I said in my community post, I could talk all day about Tom Cruise, especially this franchise. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Once again, tell me what you thought about the film down in the comments below if you've seen it. Take care, and goodbye.